Hi there, I'm Dave with Pale Horse Zero Custom Firearms and Coatings. Today, we're going to be going over a complete disassembly of this 22 Magnum High Standard Derringer. Stand by.
For the land of the free, in the home of the brave.
Okay, so first thing we want to do here is to ensure that the weapon is safe and unloaded. So we just double check that, make sure there's no rounds in the chamber and the weapon is unloaded and in a safe condition. Then what we're going to want to do is remove the grips. In order to do that, we need to remove the screws from both sides here. And then the grips will just come right off after we remove those screws. So the next thing we want to do is remove the cover plate on the left side of the pistol, and we do that by removing the hammer pivot screw. So this is a two-part screw. We'll take out this side here and we'll be able to remove that cover plate, showing us the inside of the firearm here. Next, we're going to want to remove the activator. And then we're going to want to remove the hammer strut. And we're going to do that by pushing upwards on the hammer strut plate and then removing the spring in the hammer strut. So the only things we have remaining in the grip housing are the hammer assembly and the activator spring. So we'll go ahead and flip it over, and then we're going to remove the hammer pivot screw. That'll release the grip from the frame, so that then we can release the grip from the frame and get all this other stuff out of here. The hammer assembly, and then we'll just remove this activator spring now and put that aside. And now the hammer assembly will just pull apart from the frame easy, and we'll just put that aside. We're not going to take that apart because you can buy this as a whole assembly, so if there's anything wrong with this, you just replace the whole entire assembly. Now we're going to remove the pivot pin. We just take the punch and that'll just push out the other side, and that'll release the barrel from the frame here. And so we just put the pivot pin aside. We won't need that. We're not going to Cerakote that. So, and then the barrel will just pull apart from the frame here. So next thing we're going to do is remove the trigger from the frame here. We do that by taking a punch and punching out the trigger punch there, or the trigger pin there. And then we'll get that apart, and what we want to do is we want to make sure that we don't lose the trigger spring. So we want to retain that spring. So when we take this apart, we're going to hold on to both sides. We'll remove the punch and then capture that spring so we don't lose the trigger spring. And then we'll put the spring aside. And we'll grab the frame, and then once we get the frame, what we got here is we got our hammer safety block. We're going to remove that the same way. That also has a spring inside it that we're going to want to retain. So we're going to punch that out same way. It came out a little easier. And then same thing, we want to make sure that that we retain that spring as well when we remove that. So we'll just kind of hold that, and then we'll just put it upside down in our hand so it captures it, and we'll pull the punch out, and that should fall into our hand then. And then I'll show you here the spring that we want to make sure we keep that spring. So here's the spring. Let me focus in on that. It's just a small spring, so if that falls on the floor, you're going to be looking for it for a while. So we want to make sure we keep track of that. So we'll go ahead and just take the frame, and then we'll just put that off to the side. Then we're going to grab our barrel, and we're going to remove the stirrup and the extractor. So we got to punch out the stirrup pin here. Just take the pin and the hammer, punch that out. And then once you get that out, what we'll do then is just remove the stirrup. Just take the stirrup off, which will come right off, and then the extractor will just come out as well. So we'll set the stirrup to the side, the extractor itself will just slide off, and then that's that. So we'll just place this extractor off to the side, and then next thing we're going to do is we're going to take out the stirrup roller. So that's right here, this is the stirrup roller, and then what I do is I just push down inside here, take a little bit of tension off it, and then it just pushes out. Get it partially out with your fingers, and then just grab a punch and push it the rest of the way out if it doesn't come out with your fingers. So and you just take a punch and just push it out there. Alright, then after that, then we got to get out the stirrup plunger and the stirrup spring out of there. So you can try banging it out. It should just come out. This one here, it's not gonna come out. It looks a little gummed up, a little dirty, so we're gonna have to take a dental pick or something and try to get this out of there. So I got a dental pick, and then I kind of push it in to see if I can't get it to spring out, and then I got out a little bit further to where I can get behind it and then kind of push it out and just kind of work it out. You can see in this one, you can tell it's a pocket gun. It's got a ton of lint, pocket lint inside of it, so you can tell this has been kind of put in a pocket a time or two. Once you get that stuff out of the way, the lint and everything, we could probably get this plunger out, the stirrup plunger out, fairly easy, and then we'll just push it out all the way. Bang it on here. There it goes. So that's the stirrup plunger, and then the spring is still inside there. So what we'll do is we'll take my dental pick, just kind of capture that spring, and then just do the same thing. Just kind of push it out the back side of the barrel here and grab a hold of it there. So. And that's it. The barrel's completely disassembled now. We'll go ahead and clean this spring up. It's got some lint and hair and stuff in it, so we'll clean that spring up before we put it back in there. But the barrel itself is completely disassembled. Try to get any more lint out of there. If there is any in there, just kind of clean it all out there. So there you go. It's a disassembled barrel. And here you have all the parts. This is what we are going to Cerakote. This is everything that we're going to Cerakote here. The only thing that's missing is a couple pins, and then the hammer assembly, and then the springs as well. But everything else here we're going to Cerakote. We'll get it back together, and I'll shoot another video of me putting it back together. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked the video and want to see more like it, please hit the subscribe button. Also, go ahead and click that bell, and that'll go ahead and notify you whenever we upload a new video. We plan on making videos of complete assembly and disassembly of several different firearms. If you have a suggestion of a firearm you'd like to see in one of our videos, please comment below. If you'd like to follow along with us on Facebook, you can find us at facebook.com/PaleHorse0. You can also find us at PaleHorse0 on Instagram and Twitter. You can visit us on the web at www.palehorse0.com. There you can find pricing, as well as the colors we carry in stock and several examples of our work. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.